An MS Squared Scholar by Mark Rodriguez. I'll start with a minorly brief exposition. So this is pretty much my family, very generously photographed. We're broke, or maybe not broke, but there was definitely struggle throughout my childhood regarding being low income. I would say it's made me who I am today, and I'm quite proud of it. I'm very appreciative of the family I've had and the way they raised me. Now, I'd be lying if I said being low income was a gift. I mean, words like vacation or college, they just didn't seem tangible. I grew up going from basement to basement with my father. He's a plumber, and so I guess by default, I was one too. Despite my growing skill set in the field, my father always insisted that I dream big, dive deep into whatever I'm interested in. Me and him were living in my grandparents' basement at the time. Him on the floor and me on the couch. We had just gotten evicted, and so our family was kind of separated. My mom and my sisters lived with my mom's mom about an hour away, and so times were tough, I guess. With a hobby like plumbing, problem solving was always in my interests. I was naturally inclined towards STEM, more specifically physics. I loved space. I loved watching videos about space. I loved reading theories, crazy theories about space, some silly, some serious, some I didn't understand. However, the more I took it serious and looked into it, the more I realized that it wasn't possible to pursue without college. And I suppose that's the conflict, the dilemma for a kid who sleeps on a couch in a basement next to his dad who sleeps on the floor. Is college possible for someone like me? Alright, well, fast forward a couple years later, and my family's more stable financially. Still poor, but better. And I'm in high school, and I'm having a blast, honestly, as you can see in the photo. I'm working hard in all my classes, challenging myself, and I'm loving it. Everything changes for me the moment my math teacher asked to talk to me, and she tells me about this program that she was in when she was my age called MS Squared. I don't believe I looked very much into it when I was applying, although there was a long application process. I just knew it was free, time from home, and math and science, and I was just instantly hooked. I got to campus that summer, and my mind was just in frenzy. I was so excited, nervous, everything you would expect from a 15-year-old boy who's never been far from home, let alone away from his parents. I learned so many things that summer, like how to run up and down hills, which is something I couldn't do back in Illinois because it's all flat there. How to dance salsa and how to not dance salsa. How to factor different types of quadratics. How to do something with neurons and ions. Okay, I didn't retain all the information, but I learned it. However, the greatest key of significance remains the people, the community of both MS Squared and all of Andover Summer. Students, staff, teachers. They made for some of the greatest moments and also some of the worst moments on campus. I think it's to be expected that at such a high level of grandiose diversity that, problems will arise between kids, is what they would tell us in these all-school meetings in front of all the programs, everyone on campus, sort of subverting the issue that the great diversity doesn't seem to be the issue across race, sex, gender, and whatnot. The issue was more or less that all of this conflict was sort of centralized upon the MS Squared students. This sort of ignorance within administration and staff persisted among all 3 summers of my MS Squared experience. And so I tried to blissfully ignore a lot of the bad stuff and divert my focus towards, the great things that MS Squared was really about. I suppose I couldn't ignore the issues forever. And it was made especially obvious that it was impossible to do so during the class of 2024's MS² graduation. Me and my peers watched as the administration of our program exercised their ego in order to prove a point to themselves and the students. We watched as the leaders of the program, the people we were supposed to look up to, ruined one of our most special days that we were anticipating for years and blatantly shunned us. I watched as my peers cried. I watched as I had to walk across the stage with not a smile on my face, but rather frustration and anger. MS² has changed my life for the better. I don't think I'll ever forget the friends I made there, the late nights studying, laughing, doing nothing. But I also don't think I'll forget the many promises it failed to deliver time and time again, as well as the eerie curiosity about whether or not we were really there to learn or just to dance for them.
Mark Rodriguez.
Hello, Josh.